the Almighty for this day, and I wish each and everyone present here today a very happy Kohima Press Club Foundation Day. And it is indeed an honor and privilege to stand before you as the chairperson at this Angami Public Organization Conference Hall for the 24th Kohima Press Club Foundation Day, marking not only another milestone in the history of our very own family, but a reminder of the invaluable role that we as press people play in the society. It was on this day in 2001 that editors, publishers, and reporters of different newspaper establishments in the state capital humbly came together to start a journey to work for our welfare, those in media fraternity. Over the past 24 years, the Kohima Press Club has stood united in all aspects while endeavoring to keep the community informed on any matter. As we commence the celebration, the 24th Foundation Day of our family, which is also a prelude to a bigger one, that is the Silver Jubilee celebration, for which we have another year. We will be celebrating the Silver Jubilee next year on this day, 2026. As we celebrate the day, I call upon all of us to uphold the values of responsible journalism, promoting transparency and fostering a society that is well-informed and engaged. With this, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you, our esteemed and respected special guest, Mr. Sebastian Zimmer, who is currently the chairman of Sovima Village Council, a post village in our state, and also a former, indeed, the founding editor and publisher of Northeast Herald. For those of you not know it, it was in the early 2000s that Northeast Herald used to exist in our state. It was published in Kohima. Later on, it shifted to Dimapur. He was the editor and publisher of that very newspaper. With that note, I once again welcome all of you, and as we all have the program with us, we would straight away move into the program, and I would like to call upon our very own President, Madam Alice Yosha, to deliver the presidential address.
Good morning to you all, and a very happy new year, and also 24th Foundation Day greetings to everyone. Our chairperson has highlighted briefly about how the press club has come about, but allow me to supplement to that again. In 2001, a few journalists based in Kohima came together to form the Kohima Press Club at a time when there was no proper press body to protect and promote the rights of journalists. Since then, the Kohima Press Club has gradually grown over the years, and today we have a strength of 68 members from both print and electronic media. As we celebrate our Press Club's Foundation Day today, we remember and pay tribute to the pioneering members and our former leaders for their efforts and valuable leadership. It is their farsightedness which had only steered the Kohima Press Club to where it stands today. 24 years on, we are yet to have our own permanent building, which is quite dismal. But we remain hopeful. Let me put it on record that the Kohima Press Club acknowledges and appreciates the state government for allotting a plot of land in new secretariat area for construction of KPC building. We also remain hopeful by the historic announcement made by the Chief Minister Nipurio last year to construct a permanent press club building at the state government allotted site. We are pursuing the matter on paper, on priority, and as per the last update we received, the state government has assured to take up the construction matter in the upcoming new fiscal year. We look forward on the trust and commitment of the state government in making the new press club building into a vibrant media center in the state capital, with the facilities to even cater to visiting journalists from outside Kohima. Today, our 24th Foundation Day is a landmark occasion as it heralds a new chapter in the history of Kohima Press Club. Starting from today, all the KPC activities in the next 1 year shall be undertaken as a part of the 25th anniversary year, signaling the beginning of our 25th year celebration. The Executive Council has decided to launch our own much-needed website. The official honors will be done by our special guest shortly. The objective of having our own website is to establish our online presence in today's ever-expanding digital landscape, and also to provide information about our objectives and activities. We aim to enhance the credibility of the press club through the website while promoting professionalism. The website will contain the history, objectives, programs, projects, and activities of the Kohima Press Club, and also act as our digital archive. We have our web designer here with us today, Mr. Leo Kikon. If you can stand up and can you please welcome him? Thank you. He has given us a huge discount, and yes, thank you. Well, friends, we all know that the tenure of the present Executive Council is due to expire in July this year, and we look forward to a smooth transition as the time for a change of guard approaches. And we assure you all our best support and cooperation during the transition period. On this occasion, I would like to remind each of us of our Kohima Press Club motto, to serve, and I call upon all members to rededicate yourselves to the profession, to serve the society, and to continue to uphold the ethics of journalism. As a whole, our fraternity needs to mainstream our concept on how to be catalysts of truth, justice, and development. Despite many shortcomings, the Kohima Press Club has come far, but there is still a lot to be done. As members of the Fourth Estate, we will continue to face daunting situations in our professional lives, but we have to maintain our credibility by upholding the ethics of journalism and promote a responsible media landscape. Thank you.
more? Will this be all that we've got? If I die tomorrow, I'll be alright, because I believe that after we're gone, Spirit carries on. Be frightened of dying. I used to think that was the end. That was before. I'm not scared anymore. I know that I'll always understand. I may never find all the answers. I may never understand why. I may never prove what I know to be true, but I know that I still have to try. If I die tomorrow, I'll be alright, because I believe that after we're gone, Spirit carries on. Move on, be brave, don't weep in your grave, 'cause I am no longer here. And please never let your memories of me disappear. Safe in the light that surrounds me, free of the fear and pain. My questioning mind has helped me to find the peace in the road that you take. Jesus is real, I finally feel the peace in the land, my dreams. Now that I'm here, it's perfectly clear. I found out what all of this means. If I die tomorrow, I'll be alright, because I believe that after we're gone, Spirit carries on.
The Executive Council of Kohima Press Club held held an executive meeting on 30th April 2024 and discussed various agendas pertaining to the welfare and interests of the club and its members. One of the major decisions taken during the meeting is enhancement of the membership fee. Was also constituted with Nzanbemo Kuvung as the convener and Mendoleño Ambrosia and Seyeken's sharing of our members, Dr. Wapang Longkumer, who completed her PhD in journalism and mass communication, and Ray Voller Hako, who attended the East-West International Media Conference at Manila, Philippines. As part of the 78th Indian Independence Day home institution visitation, members of the Kohima Press Club visited the District TB Hospital, Kusama, on August 15, 2024. The members interacted briefly with the 7 patients and also handed over several essential items. An orientation program for KPC and BOC WWB Media Fellowship 2024 was held on 14 September 2024 at KPC Office Kohima, marking the third edition of the Media Fellowship. The three selected fellows were Vibitonyo Kutsu, Seyekityo Kirtze, and Kanili Kiho. An interactive session with IDR, an independent media platform for the development community in collaboration with Entrepreneurs Associates with Kohima-based journalists, was also held on 23 September 2024. The Kohima Press Club conducted its annual sports event on October 12 at Indoor Stadium Kohima, with its members participating in various sporting disciplines, including arm wrestling, table TT, target shooting, badminton, and darts. The sports event was organized with the objective of fostering a spirit of camaraderie and teamwork among participants. Officials of the Kohima Press Club held a meeting with Abu Meta, the chairman of IDEN and advisor to Chief Minister, on October 26 at his office in Kohima, during which several matters pertaining to the welfare of the press and media fraternity, including the need to introduce a pension scheme for journalists in Nagaland, were highlighted. During the meeting, Meta assured to take the matter up with the state government, along with the proposed construction of the Kohima Press Club building in new Secretariat area on priority. The Kohima Press Club further observed National Press Day on 16 November 2024 under the theme, The Changing Nature of the Press, with Professor G. T. Thong, Pro-Vice Chancellor of Nagaland University, Kohima Campus, Merima, as the guest speaker. The KPC Impact Journalism Award 2024 and KPC NBOC WWB Media Fellowship 2024 completion certificates were also presented during the occasion. Before the year ended, the Executive Council of Kohima Press Club met on 22 November and 12 December 2024 to discuss about the year-long activities we could take up prior to our 25th year celebration, among which our website, which has just been launched by our special guests, is the first significant step towards this year-long celebration of our Silver Jubilee. To conclude, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our President, Elise Yosse, who has led us from the front and has been a guiding force for all of us. My sincere thanks to all our members whose cooperation and contribution has made the past year an eventful one for the club. And I look forward to your continued support even during this year. Thank you, and long live.
Wonderful and important program, the 24th Foundation Day of Kohima Press Club. My brother and friend Sebastian Zumu, who is the special guest, dear club members, led by a very efficient and hardworking president, Miss Alice. I take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy Foundation Day. Being a retired person, I'm standing here to give a small advice, if you may call it so. You know, life is a destiny. But this destiny is in contrast to the understanding and idea of predestination. In predestination, you have nothing to do. You are already predestined by God either to be in hell or to be in heaven. In contrast to this wrong understanding, this destiny is where you are the pilot of your life. You are the miner of the train. You are the captain of your own ship, where you are the mentor, you are the one to take yourself forward. And in this destiny, there is ups and downs. And in fact, these ups and downs are the most powerful things in your life, in our life, because they make up to be what you are today, what I am today. And that is why destiny in this sense. Now, all of us are in one of the most important pillar of a democracy. All of us know the legislative, the executive, the judiciary, and the fourth part is what we call the media. And I know all of us are trying our best to be a good mediator, to be a good communicator. And in this, we will be needing a lot of good writers, writers who can mold the minds of our society. And so, sometimes what happens is our kitchen disturbs our destiny, our life, our working, our enthusiasm. It is a kitchen sometimes discourages us to go forward. And that is why I would like to suggest one thing. That is, if the club members who are really on the field, excluding me or those people who are working in radio and Doordarshan and all that, but those who are really working on the field, if you can come together and sort of have a corpus fund of at least, if not 1 crore, at least 50 lakhs by requesting our Chief Minister, and that corpus fund will be looked after in such a way that it will be taken care of by, let us say, a person who is working in the bank and dealing with those, what we call mutual fund and all that. And what interest is accrued from that corpus fund can be a benefit to the members who are in the fraternity, especially for those who are in the field. So I don't know whether it'll work, but nothing like working on it. And because why the fourth estate is suffering is because there is so much of meager fund. The pay that we get may not be enough even to run our families. And when our family is in problem, we are not able to do really what you and I want to do. And so I think in order to really help us, because unfortunately again, people look at a person not by what he or she is, but by what he has. And so these are the things that in reality comes as a hindrance to going forward. And so we have no choice but to work hard and then have good earning, establish ourselves, and then work on equal footing. Even though we don't subscribe to that kind of ideology where people look at others by what they have and not by what they are. And so I thought maybe sharing this kind of ideas may be good for you. And so one last word is, I really want to impress upon each one of you to look at yourself as very important, because it is so. The fourth estate is the fourth pillar. Without the fourth pillar, the three functions cannot go forward. And that is why we must always look into ourselves, take ourselves with pride that I belong to a pillar which is very, very vital for any democracy to go forward and for our society also to go forward. And in the process, like as when we are working for this as a fourth pillar, now what I observe is, like the government, we are supposed to really not just reporting what has happened. The Chief Minister said this and this program was done in that. No. I think more than that, what we need to do is we need to follow up projects, how things are taking place periodically, to give appraisal of the public that so much is already done and this much is yet to be done. And why it is not done, all this has to be kept on reporting. Then the government will be on their toes. And this, I think, are important for ultimately because it is our people who are going to be the beneficiary, including all of us. Thank you very much.
Friend, all the way from Kohima, as a chairman of the village, shifted from Midland, my colony, where I'm the chairman now. Anyway, I mean, so nice that he could make himself available to come and join us, because we happen to be the persons together who started Kohima Press Club. I'm very privileged that our friend is here. Rather, it is emotional also, in a way. We have lost friends, but you are here, our new friends. I won't say much because our friend has said so much, how we started, how we came about, in a way. And again, from our friend Janat Siantan, who has given us some words of wisdom for us to digest and go ahead. Thank you so much, Janat sir. Well, why we started Kohima Press Club? Earlier, we had Nagaland Journalists Association. We even had Indian Working Federation, or Indian IFWJ, yeah, Federation of Working Journalists, Nagaland branch. But again, those were not very inclusive. So why we opted for Kohima Press Club was we wanted to include all media personals who were, I mean, those days it was only print media, but then we have radio, and Doordarshan was coming. So we thought we would be very inclusive. That way we started Kohima Press Club, where we invited all to become part and parcel of the media fraternity. Those days we did not have those, YouTubers and all those, but still then, with limited scope for radio and Doordarshan, because they are government employees. But they will be part and parcel of Kohima Press Club, whereas the print, those who are in the print media will be the ones taking the responsibility. So that is how we started. But how, not only how, but why? Those were the days when there was so much of insurgency. And Nagaland Journalists Association was there, like I said earlier. And then IFWJ. And I think we had, I'm not very sure again, but I don't know. But yeah, something like that, no? Yeah. So we had some who are supposed to be looking after those whoever are in the field. But then we found ourselves as scapegoat in a way. Very unfortunate to say, as scapegoat in a way, or rather sometimes as unfortunate victims. We get threats. In those days, we did not have so much factions as of now, like nearly 30. I think we are having about 28 now. We're having a couple of factions those days, but then those were the time when it was so horrifying. You just cannot walk out in the street. And the moment you walk out, you know you may be a target, because a couple of factions, they think that you are from the other sympathizer to the other group. The other group will think that you are sympathizer to the other group. Our neutrality was, at stake. We tried to be neutral, and we were always neutral. But again, there happens to be a time where you have your own connections. So that way, people misunderstood us. That was the kind of situation that we were in. And those days with the mobile phones, landline, luxury, we get threats. We don't know who is calling. There was never any identifying caller ID thing. Anyway, That way, we thought like we need to have a club inclusive of all those who are in the media. So we said we'll go for Kohima Press Club. That was before 2001, by 2000. But then the thing is, it actually, that formation, that type of thing was happening by 1999 also, in a way. But then we were very slow in our own thing to see whether it is practical or not. Because we don't have any finance, we don't have any means. And we know that the government is not going to help us. They may help us by word of mouth. But financially, we need finance. But then we knew that it was a thing where we have to keep on, sacrificing our time, if at all it is to happen. But bold, courageous friends like Sebastian and our team those days, Hale, he's the only one, I think, who is in the what you call Constitution Drafting Committee, but he is not here today. But of course, we had so much of our support from the few handful of friends that we were together those days. So, we thought like a standard we start Kohima Press Club. So from that meeting on 20th of January 2001 at Hotel Kocheje, that was the official date that we have set. But again, we took the preamble and we accepted the Constitution on the 15th of February, the next month. So that is how Kohima Press Club came about. I may keep on speaking for, another 30 minutes or 40 minutes, but I'm not going to do that. Maybe 2-3 minutes from now. It is a little disheartening today, actually. Earlier, when we were small in number, we were always packed. Because those days we were always just handful. At the most maybe 20 or a little below 30. But today we are more than 60 and our numbers is about half. So this is our foundation day. Of course, it is not that the rest who could not come or who are not here ignores us. It is not that, but then, sometimes it is a little disheartening. And again, on even the National Press Day, 16th of November also, the numbers of the attendance are a little weak. And so for that matter, now I'm coming to another point. Even if we have general body meeting, the numbers may be even lesser. Because today is our foundation day. And general body meeting will be, we may just take it as, that is for the executives and the members or whoever are, see, we can have excuses. It is quite disheartening. But anyway, thank you so much for your attendance, all of you. Many of you are, I'm seeing you for the first time maybe. You may be seeing me for dozens of days, years maybe, I don't know. Because officially I started in the year 1985 as an associate editor of News Weekly, which was supposed to be, Oking Times those days. Very patriotic, but not anti-India or anti-Naga. It is for pro-Naga, but then the thing is, we're just trying to express ourselves. My late brother, elder brother was the first editor, and our friend here, Chetri, he was part and parcel of the Oking Times family. I happen to be the third editor. That was in 1985. I just passed my pre-university. I had help from my elder brothers, from what you call student leaders, who helped me how to do some editing. So, I mean, I started that way. And I'm so proud today that we have so much of trained, what you call, journalists in our field, media persons in our field today. I'm so happy for that. But I'm about to forget. Let me go back to where I was towards the end of what I was saying. Since we are approaching the 25th year, and our present tenure is finishing this year, means 2024. And the coming year, 2025, is our Silver Jubilee. So like a friend and our senior, what you call, Sebastian has suggested, why don't we extend the tenure of our present, what you call, team, executives, and let the transition take place after the Silver Jubilee is done, is celebrated. Because there are some things where the new team may not be able to, what you call, go about smoothly. It may be taxing on the part of our, what you call, present tenure, but then if at all you agree, it will be very good, because, like I said, we may not be having a general body meeting also. Even if we call, the number may not be even up to this mark. It may be even lesser again for general body meeting. So when we're about half the mark, out of 60 plus, we're about 30 something. So I think if at all you all agree, I would be very happy that our present team continue to do what are supposed to be done for this year, for this tenure, as well, for the remaining couple of months, plus to see through that we celebrate our 25th year with our present team. My prayer to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kohima Press Club, for inviting me to be with you this morning. I'm thrilled to be here because this is an opportunity for me to get together with old friends, Jonas, Emilio, Chetri, Vincent, Cobbs, Atu, Meadow, Gul, Alice, of course, Narayan, of course. It's a nostalgic moment for me to be here with you all, because in the year 2004, after I departed from Nagaland on an assignment to Goa, I have more or less lost the privilege of being associated with our Kohima Press Club and the press fraternity. I'm reminded of the years when journalism was more or less in a very nascent stage. Cobbs and Chizoko, they were with the Northeast Sun since the late 80s, I imagine. And the brief and the first stint that I have had with journalism was with the Naga banner that was started way back in 1991 by my very good friend, late Jack T. Chagasan. And of course, the associate editor was also late Villecol Mecro. It was a broadsheet paper and the first offset printing press owned by former Chief Minister Mr. Wamuzo, late Mr. Wamuzo. And at one point of time, it did a roaring business, and it was quite successful, but because of political compulsions, I imagine, it couldn't survive for long. In the early 90s, I also embarked on a small venture to start a monthly news magazine called The Scribe. But it was more or less a one-man show, and the writing part was okay, but then the marketing part suffered. If I had met Mr. Chetri those days, it could have been a different story. And most of you were not around then, but well, I enjoyed even though it wasn't profitable, I enjoyed running that simple and humble news magazine. Then after that, I was associated with the Nagaland Journal, a news weekly tabloid, which was run by my guru, I should say, late Riato Thomas Jasuke. And at one point of time, it was quite popular. It was quite successful, I should say. And I still consider the Nagaland Weekly Journal as my springboard to what I am now. It was through that paper that the politicians got to know my name, and then they got in touch with me. And then before the politicians got in touch with me, I was approached by our Tinjime Union leaders, especially by the father-in-law of our Chief Minister, Mr. late O. Katipri, and Cops Krome's father, Mr. Wesley Krome, and Charlie Sekose's father, Z.M. Sekose. And from a very young age, I was associated with elderly, wise, sagacious gentlemen. And like I said, the politicians also got to know my name through the local media, and they approached me and took me into political activities. And when I was 29, I got associated with the Chief Minister of Nagaland as his press secretary, and the rest is history. Now I'm more or less a nobody running the affairs of a small village called Sovima in Chumugidima district. But like I said in the beginning, today is a nostalgic moment because I'm reminded of many, many friends, very good writers, very good reporters, journalists who are no longer with us. I especially remember my very good friend Jack T. Chaisang, who passed away just a couple of months back, and also I'm sure most of you have heard the name of Xavier Rutza, whom I considered as my younger brother, but as an encyclopedia of Naga political history, I should say. Because whenever, the few times that I start writing articles, when I'm at a loss as to which year or which month or which date, which politician toppled the government or who was who in Nagaland politics, he was a very rich library, and he had the names and the incidents and the dates and the months and the weeks and the years at his fingertips. He was always forthcoming, but unfortunately he passed away at a very young age. And also, I think Jonas and Kopilo will know Lele Legise. He was also a very good writer, a very good commentator on Nagaland politics, and also Rieto Jasuke, a very bold editor, publisher of the weekly journal. Then again, I'm also reminded of my very good friend Kaka Iralu, whom I considered as my library as far as Naga political issue or the history of Naga political movement was concerned. He was a very good friend of mine, and we were poles apart in the sense that I have always been for Indian nationalism, whereas he was for Naga nationalism. Even though we didn't see eye to eye, we were both agreed, and we told each other that I don't subscribe to your school of thought, but I'll be the first to lay down my life, to let you have the freedom of expression, freedom of belief. I mention him because he was also a walking encyclopedia for Naga political movement. Whenever I write some commentaries or face some doubts as to the year or the names of Naga political leaders, I phoned him up, and it was he who used to give me details. And as a matter of fact, that his first book, Blood, Tears and Sweat, yeah, I think it was called that, he brought it to my office when Nara and me, we were running the Northeast Herald, Chetri and all. Vincent was also there with me then I think. Kaka Iralu brought his manuscript in floppy disks, not in pen drive. We didn't have the luxury of the pen drives and the CDs in those days, floppy disks. He brought almost a dozen floppy disks for me to go through and asked me to edit. I read a couple of pages, but I didn't quite, I couldn't put my thoughts into it because of the simple reason that, like I said, we didn't share the same school of thought. Anyway, times have changed. In 99, I think, when we started the Northeast Herald, we were quite a good team. Cobbs, even though he was with Northeast Sun, he used to also contribute. Then I think Narayan was also one of the first batches who joined me. Then Chizoko was always there, my mainstay. And well, anyway, we had fun in the sense that even though we had to work up till 10, 11, the news section, from there onwards, the printers, they took over. Then early morning, Chetri and his party used to take over. We suffered a lot, but then at the same time, we had quite memorable times together. And I think Atu also had accompanied me several times on tours covering political meetings and functions almost all over Nagaland. And I've been privileged to have been to almost all the subdivisions of Nagaland and to many, many villages. So even these days, when I meet any friend or any people from the ENPO or from any district, I used to ask from which village they are from. And when I recall or narrate to them where the village is located or who their main leaders are, they used to be quite surprised that I know so many villages, so many headquarters, But I'm privileged to have all these experiences because I was also once upon a time a journalist. And those days we didn't have the luxury of having our correspondence in all the district headquarters, and most of the important programs from here in Kohima we had to cover. So one day ahead of time we used to travel by I think not less than 8-10 of us used to fill up in a gypsy. We used to cover, and knowing the Nagaland roads, dusty roads, we used to fail to recognize each other when we get down from the vehicle because of the dust. And during monsoon, during the rainy season, it was a different story altogether. But anyway, those were fun days. Now times have changed. Like I said, when we used to go to, say, for example, Mon, after the function, we used to rush to Community Information Center, CIC, ask the operators to open up the internet and for us to file our stories, mail it. And those days it used to be, we used to dial a telephone number, and then after several minutes only we used to get connected. Anyway, it was, I don't know whether I'll get to listen to that dialing tone again. But yeah, those were fun days. Now, you guys, the younger generation, you are privileged, or even us older generation, we are privileged to have not computers, but the laptops or the PCs, but computers on our own mobiles. We can file our stories from there, access the internet from our mobiles. But once upon a time, internet was a luxury. In 1998 or 99, our Science and Technology Department, they installed one internet provider thing called Nagaland website or something, and the subscribers were limited. And I think a total of not even 500 in Nagaland could access that. But being the press secretary to the chief minister, I was privileged to be given a connection, and it was a very enriching experience for me those days. And well, those days the print media was the all in all, and All India Radio was there, Doordarshan was there, but then, like I said, they also didn't have their correspondents in the major districts, and All India Radio, they also had to depend on the local papers for their stories. They're, I think, most of the time, they're 24 hours late, a day late or so. Doordarshan was also more or less the same, I think. But nowadays, you have, it's just telephone call away to get news from any corner of the state. But once upon a time, it wasn't like that. And so far, Nagaland, we're still dependent on the print media. But slowly, in the last couple of years, I see the proliferation of YouTubers. And like in the West, I think print media will unfortunately slowly go down, and YouTubers will take over. And yes, when we started KPC, we didn't have internet, mobile phones as of now, so YouTubers were out of the question. But now that YouTubers have made their presence felt, frankly speaking, before going through the local papers, also the day prior to that or the evening prior to that, we get to know almost all the information that we get to read in the paper the next day. So taking this advantage today, being in the presence of you all, I would like to request the KPC also to not only allow admission of YouTubers, but also in collaboration with the Information and Public Relations Department, have some sort of regulation Because for any facility, YouTubers, okay, there may be some very good ones, but at the same time, there are some who might lack credibility, or there may be some unscrupulous one who do not have the ethics, journalistic ethics. So KPC, in collaboration with IPR, can very well formulate some sort of guidelines or maybe some criteria for the YouTubers to also to function or to operate. Because nowadays just about everybody has a mobile phone, and every mobile phone is a camera. Just because you have a camera doesn't mean that you are a journalist or you can start your own YouTube channel. But I think it'll be a good idea if KPC comes up with, be the pioneer and comes up with some sort of guidelines or take up the matter with the relevant department, that is IPR. And now that we're on the threshold of celebrating our Silver Jubilee, and like the President Alice said, their tenure is coming to an end in July. If the House agrees, I'd like to put my humble suggestion to let the present tenure continue till the Silver Jubilee, so that instead of a smooth transition before the Jubilee, let a smooth transition take place after we have a grand Silver Jubilee celebration. Thank you. God bless.